The Russians and Ukrainians have a long history of war. This history falls under the scrutiny of many historians and history researchers in eastern and southern Ukraine. Russianization for centuries under Russian rule and the settlement of ethnically Russian nationals led to Russian gaining supremacy even among ethnic Ukrainians. Support for closer ties with the European continent is strong in western and central Ukraine, while many in eastern Ukraine and southern Ukraine have traditionally supported a more intense form of relations with Russia. President Yanukovych, who received most of his support from the eastern regions, was ousted in February 2014. Modern Ukrainian territory has been a settlement since 32,000 BC. With the establishment of the powerful Kiev Nezism, which formed the basis of Ukrainian identity in the Middle Ages, it became an important center of Eastern Slavic culture. In the 13th century, as a result of the division of the Kiev Nezlik into various principalities and the destruction caused by the Mongol invasion, the regional union collapsed and the region was the scene of struggles between various powers such as the Polish-Lithuanian Union, the Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman empires, the Russian Tsarist Empire in the 17th and 18th centuries. The Kazakh Hetmanism was established and enriched, but the lands of Hetmanism were eventually divided between Poland and the Russian Empire. After the Russian Revolution, the Ukrainian national movement emerged in line with Ukraine's struggle for the right to self-determination, and on June 23, 1917, the internationally recognized People's Republic of Ukraine was founded. After the Second World War, the western part of Ukraine merged with the Soviet Socialist Republic of Ukraine, and the whole country became part of the Soviet Union. Ukraine gained independence in 1991 after the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Following independence, Ukraine declared its neutrality. In 1994, he formed a partnership with NATO, establishing a limited military partnership with Russia and other CIS countries. Ukraine is a developing country that ranks 74th in the Human Development Index. Along with Moldova, it is the poorest country in Europe and suffers from a very high poverty rate and serious corruption. However, due to its large fertile agricultural land, Ukraine is among the largest grain exporters in the world. 19. It also has the third largest army in Europe. After Russia and France, Ukraine is a unitary republic with the principle of separation of powers with a quasi-presidential system. The country is a member of the United Nations, the Council of Europe, the OSCE, the Guam Organization and the Lublin Triangle, and is one of the founding states of the CIS, although it was never a member. Ukrainian traditions have been greatly influenced by Orthodox Christianity, the dominant religion in the country. Gender roles also tend to be more traditional, and grandparents play a larger role in raising children than in the West. Ukrainian culture has also been influenced by its eastern and western neighbors, and this cultural influence is reflected in Ukrainian architecture, music and art. The Easter egg tradition, known as pisanki, has a long history in Ukraine. Drawings are made with candles to create a pattern on these eggs. Then the paint is applied to give the eggs their pleasant color. The paint does not affect the previously covered parts of the egg with candles. After the entire egg is painted, the candle-covered part is removed, and only the colorful pattern decoration remains on the egg. This tradition is thousands of years old and dates back to the past periods before the spread of Christianity to Ukraine. The Pisanka Museum was built in 2000 in Kolomaya, near the foothills of the Carpathian Mountains. The museum was later nominated in 2007 as part of the Seven Wonders of Ukraine and was considered a modern Ukrainian monument. In ancient times, Ukraine was also called Rutenia. The most widely accepted scientific view, it is that the Ukrainians, Russians and Belarus White Russians originated from the Eastern Slav tribes in the 14th–16th centuries, presumably. On the other hand, Soviet sources and sources accepted in today's Russian Federation say that Ukrainians and Belarus came from the Russians, but it is a fact that representatives of the former Slavic tribes lived in the state, which was founded in the 8th–9th centuries, headquartered in Kiev, the capital of modern Ukraine, and later called the Russian state of Kiev, and in the current case the Russian, Ukrainian name is not mentioned as a nation. In this regard, common sources in today's Ukraine claim that in fact the Russians originate from the Ukrainians. The nation, which lived in the former Kiev Russian state, which existed until about the 14th century, was Ukrainian. After the Mongols arrived, most Ukrainians left Kiev and began to migrate north, and then established a city called Moscow, which would become the capital of a new state. The name of the new state, Moscow Russian State. Then the Russian Tsar, then the Russian Empire. So according to this view, the nation that lives in and around Moscow today was a nation of Ukrainian origin from Kiev. It is also common to say that the nation that lives in Kiev and Ukraine today is a mixture of Ukrainian and Mongolian Tatar.